So it is absolutely crunch time here with us with Project 55. As you can see, our studio is a disaster. It's complete chaos. If you've ever done a project build like this, I'm sure this looks familiar. We have pieces everywhere, and we have 10 days to get all this stuff installed on that car.
Just a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time.
So last video you guys saw, we just finished assembling the engine, but in the meantime, we've been working on the car as well, so we can get you caught up on exactly where Project 55 is. Like I said, we have 10 days to get this done. I got Brendan in the background putting headers on the engine while it's on the floor. I mean, whatever we can do to get this car to Mustang Week, we are going to try. But we got most of the wiring is in place. So everything inside is wired, the dash is wired, it's all back in the car, and everything for the engine bay is out here where it needs to be. At this point though, we have to get the engine in and then figure out where all these wires have to go. Since we did shave the engine bay, some of these will have to be lengthened and modified. We won't know all of that until the engine's in the car. So for now, we're getting the engine ready to go in, but I'll show you some stuff we've done to the interior. So in the interior, we showed you the door panels, we showed you us starting the headliner. We finished up the rest of the dash, put the heater box back in, the consoles in, our new Daniel Carpenter center console pieces in with the USB controls in it. We just mocked the seats up for now. We're probably gonna have to pull them out one more time. We want to get a feel for what it was gonna look like. The steering wheel is just a placeholder at this point. I do want to keep the original wheel, but mine is in really, really rough shape. And I've got to have somebody restore that for me. It's not something I'm really capable of doing. So at some point in time, I will get that restored. Most of the interior wiring is finished. The stereo is pretty much wired up. Once we get the engine in, we'll get the computer back in, then the kick panels can go in. And just last night, I finished upholstering the rear seats. They're ready to go in as well. The rear seat upholstery TMI custom made for, so it matches the front seats on both the bottom seat and the seat back. And we have a detailed video on our website on how to reupholster these seats if you have some questions about it. The lower seat's pretty easy. The backs are kind of a pain, but again, we have a detailed video. So if you have some questions about the upholstery, you can check it out.
I am working on motor mount. Don't stop recording. That's good shit there, Justin. Uh-oh.
Tell me he didn't just poop out the mounts, right? Oh, you still looking for the bolts you put in a safe place?
Yes. I thought you put them in a safe place.
No, I said, specifically said put them in a safe place because I tried to put them in the wrong place. Anybody who's ever done a project at this level is gonna understand right where we're at this point. I mean, the beginning, it's like gung-ho, we can't wait. Now we're at the, I just want it done phase. There's a lot to do. We're a very, very tight timetable. We are doing our best here, but yeah, I think we're starting to get a little bit delirious at this point. I can't even, I don't even know what to do anymore. You know the camera's on, right?
I know.
You sure? Engine will actually pivot since there's no transmission connected to it, and when it rolls backwards, we don't want it to hit the freshly painted firewall. So we put a high-tech device in there to keep it from moving.
What day it is, I have no clue. But we found out we have 8 days left. And we just put an engine in, so we're far away and we got a lot to do. Since we're putting some extra power to this engine, we need to upgrade our fuel system. So what I'm doing is I put a big old stand under here. I'm gonna lower the tank, put a new fuel pump in, new fuel filters, and throw it all back in. I got a breakfast burrito, but then also I got myself a breakfast sandwich that came with it, which was pretty sweet. Then I had a pancake, and then I had coffee. And I'm like, I need a nap. I'm still working with my eyes closed. I just put my arms in cruise control. Just keep going. Sooner or later I'll just wake up. I'm looking for corrosion, rust, anything bad that says we might have to get a new tank.
How's it look?
Like corrosion and rust in here. As you see that, all that's corrosion, and it's actually eating this away. While I wait for a few parts for the fuel tank, I'm gonna jump on doing the T5, throwing it into the car. Luckily a T5 is super light, so I can just pick it up and throw it in. Now for our perfect launch, awesome diff cover, which comes with nice hardware. Child. Just raising the engine up so I can get the transmission to line up. There we go. Now for all this power, we need this Ford Racing all aluminum drive shaft. Whammo. Bolt it down and you're done. I'm looking for more bolts. I can't find them. They're in one of the many piles I made. I know they're here. You with your 50. I'm gonna keep moving so you have to keep resuming.
I apologize if I'm a little bit sleepy, but it was a long weekend here at CJ's. At this point, we are 6 working days away from Mustang Week. I had a couple friends help me this weekend, and as you can see, we got a lot done on Project 55. The engine is in place, it's completely wired, the exhaust is hooked up, the radiator from Ishimoto, we got that installed. We still got to wire up the fans, but that's in place. Our old air conditioning system is just about finished. We have to get one line modified a little bit for our blower, but it is coming together. I mean, at this point, we have to install the computer, do a couple little things, and we should be able to actually crank this engine and get it running. Our interior is just about completely assembled. Both kick panels are out for some wiring things for the computer, and the gauge cluster should be here today, and then we can finish up the interior. The suspension is completely done. All that stuff is bolted on. We are getting close. There's gonna be a lot of little things that are gonna pop up. Still gonna try to make it for Mustang Week.